Hey guys, it's David Tass and Stacy
How are you?
with the BMF podcast, the Business Marketing Family. And today we have a super exciting topic, how to build your business dream team.
I'm excited for this one.
Awesome. So for those who don't know, Stacy and I, we've had a business for the last 4 years, and I've been in entrepreneurship since 2012. Not going to age myself here, but we're able to build teams of people and build $1 million business and $1 million team to go along with it. So we've learned a lot of interesting, really cool things that we believe is going to help you along your journey. I want to share with you because the best thing you can do is share what you've learned to empower more. We believe that the world needs more entrepreneurs, especially good ones like yourself. So hope you really enjoy the video.
Yes. So excited. So, I want to ask you one question. You've been a business owner for since forever. So from when you started until now, how has the journey been for you building?
Yeah, so when I first started out in business, it was definitely a lot different than what we do today. And skill set, it's a skill set, just like anything else. I mean, the more you practice it, the more you experience it, you get better and better at it. A couple of things that has really helped myself grow and our team grow is really putting an effort towards it. I feel like most business owners and most entrepreneurs, what happens is they realize they have a need for something, they put a job post out there, and they interview a few people, hopefully, and they make a decision. They don't really understand exactly what their business, and then they have poor results, and they either stop and say, you know what, I'm just gonna do everything myself. No one can do it as good as me, or you do it again and again, and you're not really learning from those experiences, and then that's a tragedy because you can be in business and have a much easier time having good people around you. There's a saying and a quote that I've heard before that if you hire C players in your business will go no, you eventually won't go anywhere. If you hire B players, your business will survive, but you'll never stand out or even come close to sniffing your potential. If you hire A players though, you can literally conquer the world. So that's what we want to do, is pass on some of our knowledge so this way you can hire better quality talent and learn from our experiences as well.
Okay, good. So let's talk about that. How can somebody find their A players?
Right, so how do you find the right person? That's a really good question. So number one, I would say identify what your business really needs. Create a scorecard, right? Not a job description. Don't go and say, hey, you know what? This company posted this thing. I'm gonna copy and do the same thing. You have to put the time and effort into number one, understanding what your company really needs. Define that role. Who does that role report to? Who reports to that role? Have that mapped out, right? Also on the scorecard, if you have current team members, you have current employees, who's exemplary in that role? And right now, if you're by yourself in your business, well, guess what? You are exemplary in that role, right? And you're more than likely wearing multiple hats. You're doing the job of 3, 4, 5 people maybe, right? You gotta separate yourself and say, okay, when I'm doing this function of my business, what am I doing? What are the qualities that I'm exuding that's allowing things to go well? Write those down because that's who you're gonna search for. You're not gonna find someone as good as you initially, for the most part, unless you get lucky, but you can find someone as good as or better than you in a particular function, right? And that's awesome. That's what you're looking at. So I would say the first thing I'm gonna do is create a scorecard. I'm gonna really define who do I need, who is this role, what are the characteristics, what are the things that need to get done for that role. So that's step number one, right? So step number two, after you've done that, you're gonna say, okay, what am I willing to, what is the most this person stands to make, right? What's the comp, the most this person stands to make? And I've actually heard this from Chet Holmes. He's a phenomenal sales coach. He passed away. He's phenomenal, great guy. He used to coach people and say, listen, don't put the average salary, put what someone stands to make. Like, what can they make, right? What's the most they can make in the role? You put that as your headline to attract the right people, because savvy people that are growth minded, they're sometimes willing to take a little less at the beginning if they believe in your dream, believe in your vision, and they understand, okay, 12 months from now or 24 months from now, I'm going to be making X and I'm part of that dream, right? So don't hold yourself back and say, okay, here's what I can afford to pay now. Talk about where the business will be and where you can afford to pay later. Talk about that, and that's your headline. That's what, help you attract better talent right away, instead of having to, kind of nurse a C player that will just either keep you where you're at or even worse, drive your business down.
Yeah, and I feel like when people already know what they're gonna make, they don't strive for more. There's no future income. There's no like what's next? What's next in my role? What's next in my income? Is there promotion opportunities? Mm-hmm. So that's all you want to add into the headline. And when you're doing your interviews, and I'm going maybe further in, but when you're doing your interviews, you can talk about that growth, that potential growth that person in that position can stand to make and become.
Absolutely. When you're first starting out in business, think about what you have to offer that your competitors can't, right? They might have more money than you. They might have more experience. Are you willing to say, hey, you know what? My first team member in a critical role, I'm willing to offer a profit share, right? Not equity in your company, but a profit share. I'm willing to give up a little bit of profit to get a better person that's gonna help me get to my destination. So you can be creative as an entrepreneur. You don't never settle for mediocre or below level talent, because you will bring yourself down.
Yes, you will, and you're probably gonna have to start over. Mm-hmm. And time is money. Mm-hmm. Time is money, and you want to make sure, as you're starting out, you are educating yourself, you're studying, you're figuring out, okay, what do I want my business to be in 5 years? What should it look like in 10 years, 15, whatever, your goals are, and who can I bring on that's going to be with me throughout these phases? What can I offer them now, and what can I offer them in the future? So you want to basically, when you're starting out, really create that core team so that they can be with you throughout the growth. And if they're not going to be with you throughout the growth, then that's okay. But you want to have these systems in place and the qualities of the individuals in place, what they're supposed to be doing in place now, so that when you are refilling these roles in the future, you know who you're looking for.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well said. So I think you hit on a really key point. You should be documenting what you're currently doing, creating processes. We'll get to that. Once you've hired someone, what's the next steps? Yeah. How to keep an A player or keep a talented person. We'll probably, there's so much that goes into that. It'll probably be in a different video. I want to make sure I answer the question fully. So, how do you find an A player or, your dream team member? So number one, after you've created your scorecard, and by the way, there's a great reference. The book is called Who by Jeff Smart, WHO by Jeff Smart. It covers all this in great detail. I read it and it really skyrocketed our process for selecting better quality talent. So, great reference, and we'll link it in the description below as well. So once you have your scorecard, you know exactly what you're looking for and who you're looking for. The next thing I would do is leverage your existing network, right? So your business friends, your social friends, ask them, hey, do you know anyone that, fits these qualifications or has this personality you think would be a great fit for my business? Or, who's the most talented, tell me, who's the most talented person that's available right now? Mm-hmm. Great question, great icebreaker to ask. And then you could bring that person in. That'd be phenomenal. Also, your social network, your Facebook page, your LinkedIn page, your Instagram page, post. I don't want to call it a job description, because traditional and typical job descriptions are average. Average job description is going to get you an average talent pool, which will give you an average person and will not serve you any good. So I like to say, hey, post that scorecard, which is like a job description on steroids, and make sure you put the best, the best parts of working with you and your company, make sure that's at the top because you want to attract people. Your headline, right? You attract more bees with honey than with vinegar. Because a lot of people, they'll post like, I'm looking for this amazing person, but you have to have this, and this. You can't do this, and this. And it's like you're hurting yourself. You're hurting your own business. You got to sell them that dream. Just like you sold yourself that dream to become an entrepreneur and start a business, you have to sell your team members on that dream as well. They have to align with you to have success. So 1, leverage your network. 2, leverage social media. A third thing is potentially using a recruiter. And then number 4, I would say existing team members, existing employees. So we specifically, we refer to our I guess employees as team members because we feel like we have a community, we have a team, and everyone's valuable. So we like to use the word team member, you guys catch that. And that's a great resource.
Yeah, we recently did this, but I feel like a lot of our team members come from our existing team members. 1, because they advocate for people. They will, because they're bringing on somebody to the team or they want somebody on the team, they're going to pick the best of the best that they know, which is awesome. And that goes for your team members. That goes for hopefully your social media network, your friends and your family. Hopefully they're sending you people that they are like, oh, this is the best person I know for this role and for you and for your company. So I do say leverage the people that you know and then go into like the other suggestions, like maybe using a recruiter to help you find that person. But leveraging the people that you know, I think, and from experience, we found that to be like one of the best ways to find great talent. Of course, they're gonna go through the whole process, but I feel like we've come across amazing people.
Right, absolutely. And a key caveat with that is go to your best people. So you have a specific role, like we recently just hired account managers for our business, for our marketing agency. We went to our best account managers and said, hey, do you know anyone that's like you that you feel will do fantastic in this role? Now, there's psychology here is, number 1, your top performers, they understand what it takes to be a top performer, so they know this person's a top performer. You don't want to ask someone that's underperforming or someone that you feel like, is average, whatever it is, because they might find someone for you that they feel like, oh, I'm going to do that person a solid rather than do the company organization a solid and find the right. And number 2, the person that you're bringing on, if they know like, man, Stacy's the one who got me this opportunity, Stacy's a serious person, she does really well. I don't want to let Stacy down and not do well at this position. So you kind of have that extra push for them to succeed. And also because your top performers trust you already and they trust the business, they're transferring a piece of that trust for the new team member who, let's face it, someone comes into the business, they're seeing everything, it can be a little overwhelming, or there can be some things that turn them off, and you might lose a really good prospect, a really good team member in that first initial, first 30 days, if there's something that turns them off. So that's also a nice hook as well to let people get comfortable in your business.
Yep. I like it.
Right? And now, if you don't currently have team members, if you don't have a network pool that you can pull from, where I first started and where we first started, we used Indeed, the job sites. We posted on LinkedIn, we used Indeed. Again, we made a lot of, I wouldn't say mistakes, a lot of growth moments. We didn't find the right person, we didn't find the right fit. We overpaid for certain roles. We leveraged interns at one point. So just a lot of memories, a lot of funny stories, and a lot of growth. So the job sites are great, like Indeed, the LinkedIn, Facebook Marketplace. So leverage those, but going with a scorecard, going with a solid description, and that would be our last resort. First would be our network. Second would be existing team members. Third would be social media, posting on social media. Fourth would be a recruiter. Now, if you can afford a recruiter, great. They do phenomenal work, and they focus on this, and that's all. They specialize in this, and you'll get your probability of finding that A player drastically skyrockets when you use a recruiter. But now you're gonna start a business or a small business has the funds for that. And then lastly, I would use the job sites like Indeed, LinkedIn, Facebook, ZipRecruiter, but come with a scorecard and really have that defined, right?
Yeah.
All right. So I've been talking Scorecard a lot, and that book, Who, is phenomenal. I say, do we have enough time to get into our hiring process, like how we map that out? Cliff note. Okay, the short of it is that same exact scorecard that you build before we identify that role, we bring that on with us on every interview. And we're looking for key things like it's literally mapped out, and we actually have a grading system because it's an art when it comes to hiring. And you want to have, like the typical process is something like an organization might have you meet with one person, then a second person, a third person. You might do some gimmicky things like, I'm going to leave a pencil on the floor, see if that person picked it up. Oh, they're good, versus like that. All that stuff is, in my opinion, is nonsense, right? I'm looking at, okay, how well does this person fit into our culture? That's always a category, and it's ranked from 1 to 10. And we have these categories based on the role that we're hiring for, and we have a total score. And by the way, our existing team members, especially our A players, they're on that scorecard, and we know what their score is.
And if we haven't done it in a while, we'll interview that top performer on our team before we start interviews. Because one, they've grown, of course, since being with us. They're clearly our top people, and we want people like them. So yeah, we'll interview them first, then we'll use, they're like our number one person on our score. So if someone can be like them on the scoreboard or top them, then that's probably the person we're gonna hire.
Right. That's such a great tip. Good job.
Good job for you.
Awesome. So, man, this journey is amazing. The entrepreneur journey is amazing. There's so many things to learn, to get better at, and you're never going to stop learning and growing. And having the right people around you is key, because it's gonna be great sometimes, it's gonna be low sometimes, it's gonna be challenged sometimes, and the people you have around you will make all the difference. And I'm so happy that I have, you by my side.
Of course. No, happy that you brought me on. But no, he's absolutely right. And
should I tell them your grade on the scorecard?
I'm A+++. Probably not. I probably would. Some of the positions you hear, I probably have not done a good job on the scorecard, and vice versa, which is why we, have our positions. And
I think that's also a critical point, that we say right person, wrong seat, right? So you might find someone that's really talented, but they're better suited for another position, and that's okay. Always be honest with people. Let them know, we're going to plan on hiring this position in the future, and I'm definitely you're one of the first people I'm going to reach out to, because I think you'll crush it in that role. I feel like people, they value honesty and transparency throughout that hiring process or that onboarding process, that first 90 days of them being with your company. So,
and just to piggyback off of that, like in those 90 days where you're onboarding somebody and they're kind of on probation, right? See if, if they are maybe struggling the role that you thought they could have been great at, but they're just an amazing individual. They're a perfect fit for your culture, your company. They're a hard worker. They want to learn and be part of the dream and be part of the environment. Maybe they're suited for another position in your company. So just really when you are bringing people in, if they are struggling, I wouldn't put them to the side this is not gonna work, I need to find somebody new. See if they can be in another role, or if you don't have that role at the moment because of funds, then again, like David said, I would just let them know that they are somebody that you have of interest for that role when you have it in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. And look at, why are they struggling? Is it is it a system in your business? Is it the person? So you have to be savvy enough to understand, okay, do I need to update something on the business end, or this person isn't the right fit? And again, that's 100% okay.
Yeah.
So I had a tidbit before we leave you guys. I will remember this and I will say it on the next video. So make sure you subscribe to this channel. Make sure you watch our videos, because it's going to come back to me, and it was really, really good. But guys, thank you so much for spending this time with us. We really love being entrepreneurs, and we love you for being here with us, and to your success.
Bye. Have a great one.
Hey guys, it's Dave with Tash Ads. If you like this video, like and subscribe to our channel for more awesome content on business, marketing, and family. And if you are a recruiter or a consultant and you're looking for a way to get more clients quickly, link in the description below. Book a call with myself and my team. We'll love to talk about you and your business and see how we can help. Take care.